deal, man? Another episode of Fueled by Craft. I just wanted to take a few minutes here to just talk about what Ajay Mitchell is doing for the Oklahoma City Thunder and just how important it is for the future of this team and how scary it is for the rest of these teams in the league. Before I get too deep into this, I would just like to say I've already placed my bet for him to win Sixth Man of the Year. And hopefully after you get done watching this video, you'll better understand my thought process. Just a quick background on Ajay Mitchell. He's playing in his second year right now for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Last year, he only played around 36 games as he dealt with a turf toe injury, which sidelined him for a big chunk of the season. He played a little bit in the beginning and came back toward the end, but it was kind of hard to find some minutes for him in the rotation, because it was already deep and getting ready for that playoff run. But he showed flashes from the jump. My first time seeing him play, I was a big fan of him. And I made my tweets about him, just expressing, how good of a basketball player I think he is. I think it's just, fun for me to just tweet my predictions and things like that, just to come back and see, how accurate I was and did I really know what I was looking at. And I was a huge fan of Ajay Mitchell coming in. Guys like Isaiah Joe and Topic not healthy at the moment. That has opened up the opportunity for him to get more minutes. He's averaging around 26 minutes a game. And honestly, those guys better get healthy soon because it's not looking like he's ready to get those minutes back whenever they do come back and play. I kind of jumped ahead, but he was averaging 20 points a game his last year in college before he decided to enter the NBA draft, becoming a mid-second round pick for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Something really impressive about him was he was a smaller guard at a smaller school. And he wasn't like a Ja Morant at Murray State where he was like super explosive and on ESPN for all these dunks. He wasn't a guy like Damian Lillard He wasn't a guy like Dame or Steph at their smaller schools shooting the lights out, which is like the blueprint for smaller guards to get into the NBA. But he just has a smooth game. He understands how to manipulate defenders by like changing the pace of his game. Really aggressive finisher around the rim. He makes a lot of difficult shots around the rim. And he has some really great touch to go with that strength. He makes a lot of tough, difficult floaters that I'm like, after I see him shoot it, I'm kind of skeptical about it, but after so long of seeing it go in, you just get used to him, making those unorthodox looking shots. He's averaging 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 1 steal a game. And I think that 26 points in that double overtime against Indy was one of those games that kind of put him on the map for more of the broader audience. It was a finals rematch, so it was a lot of odds on that already, even though guys like Tyrese Halliburton and J-Dub were out. And, that was a great game for him to show out, and he showed up 26 points. And it's honestly one of the main reasons why the Thunder won that game. So Sam Presti in that front office, again, do a great job at scouting, finding the gem of a player. And after those 2 years is up, I'm sure the Thunder will throw him a more team-friendly deal, but he'll get a lot more money and probably be on his team for another 5, 6, 7 years. If you've been watching the Thunder for a long time, this won't sound so crazy. Smooth left hand, man. The scoring ability that he brings off the bench really reminds me of 2012 James Harden. And not saying that they have the same play style, but they actually play fairly similar. They both are really good off the dribble, both really good finishers around the rim. While Harden might have been a better shooter, you can't just leave Ajay Mitchell open. They both just provided a luxury off the bench that ultimately gets you to championship games. And adding a fully healthy guy like Ajay Mitchell to the defending 2025 NBA champions is really just like pouring gas onto the fire. You give OKC just another way, another direction to score the ball. And as a Thunder fan, my biggest issue with the team last year outside of three-point shooting was just when Shai got to the bench, it was like the drop-off offensively was like way too big. Now, I understand how good of a scorer he is. There's going to be a drop-off when he's off the floor. But Ajay Mitchell provides that scoring to where it's not a huge drop-off. What makes that even better is he's a solid ball handler. So he's on the ball. He's the perfect guy to substitute in when Shai's on the bench. And he's also a good guy to play alongside Shai as we've seen him, as we've been seeing that happen a lot recently. It still is super early in the season, and I don't want to overreact over 5 games. But I think it'll be pretty scary to the league if I'm right with this OKC team finding their next James Harden off the bench. This is Fueled by Craft. Let me know what you think about Ajay Mitchell. How good do you think he can be? How good do you think that OKC team can be as a whole? Appreciate you guys, man. This is Fueled by Craft.